Hey, it's Marni. Is your computer running slow? Well, mycleanpc.com can clean it up and speed it up today. Now, you might be asking yourself, how did my computer get this way? It's freaking frustrating, right? Well, opening infected small attachments, downloading music and games can slow your computer down. Over time, running these programs can cause junk files, internet clutter, processor, and hard drive errors to build up on your computer. MyCleanPC can help. First, go to mycleanpc.com and in minutes, you can get a free computer diagnosis and find out what's slowing down your computer. Then simply activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk, internet clutter, and even remove viruses. And MyCleanPC is guaranteed to increase the speed of your computer. I promise you. With MyCleanPC, there are 2 easy steps to speed up your computer. First, go to mycleanpc.com and get a free computer diagnosis. Then simply activate MyCleanPC software to optimize your computer performance. Go to mycleanpc.com today and find out what's slowing down your computer. That's mycleanpc.com. Go there now.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
PodcastOne.com presents the Ask Women Podcast. A place where 2 comics and a professional wing girl get together to dissect the female mind.
You don't know how I feel.
And explain it to men in terms they can actually understand. Boobs. Now, here's the lovely ladies of Ask Women.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ask Women Podcast, where you get real advice straight from the source. Kristen, that's right, I give you all your information, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But welcome to the show. I'm a comedian, host, etc., and we're here with Marni Kinrys, best-selling author and owner of thewinggirlmethod.com, and we have 2 very devilishly handsome men with us today. Did I mention I'm a liar? Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
That was mean now. You didn't have to be mean about it.
We have Mike Carano with us, joining us again. And
we might be charming.
Might be.
You are. You're both charming in very different ways.
Yes, and we also have Taylor Locke. So thank you so much for coming back. We had a lot of good feedback from you.
Great.
People really like you.
I read that.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised or anything, but
Wait, what's your name?
They said sincere,
Taylor
real.
Locke?
Yeah.
he's from a band. You might know Rooney.
Yes.
Or
yeah.
from the show Vampire Diaries. You know, there's a character called Taylor Locke.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
That's his name.
Really?
Taylor Locke. Yeah, because
It's a
when
cool
I heard your name before you came on. Yeah, Sue.
Thought it was that guy coming on in character.
I didn't think so, but I was just like, honestly, that's the first picture that went into my mind. I was like, yes, have him on the show for sure. I love him.
Any vampire stuff. I don't watch any werewolf stuff.
Well, don't, because they're
It's
stealing
like
your name.
people
You should
who
be
look
pissed.
like vampires don't watch vampire stuff.
Oh.
I'm just saying that about you.
Backwards
See,
compliments.
she's saying
coming
you look
again.
like a vampire.
Like a vampire.
You could be on that show.
Yeah, you're like-
you could have fangs.
Sexy vampire.
Yes. Well, okay, this episode today, we're going to go into a full analyze this segment. But before we get into analyze this, I want to take 1 minute for a Wing Girl Minute. Giving you attention does not translate into I'm interested. Just because a woman gives you 5 minutes of her undivided attention does not mean she's into you.
She's bored.
Yes. Women are polite and would never say to your face, sorry, you are not for me, or get the fuck away from me. They will, however, stand and listen to you for 5 minutes and then find an excuse as to why they have to leave. And that is this week's Wing Girl Minute.
It's true. I've done that many times. And I always
Stand and
feel,
nodded.
And I always feel really bad, and I'm too shy to say anything like, I have a
You're like,
boyfriend.
get away from me. I don't want to
Yeah,
talk to you
yeah,
anymore. Oh,
yeah.
I'm the exact same way. I was super polite.
Yeah.
That's not just in a romantic situation, though. I do that with everybody.
Yes, exactly. No, I can't differentiate between like when a guy would be talking to me romantically and when a guy or a woman is just talking to me in general, and I don't want to be in the conversation.
I stood in the door of the UPS truck this afternoon, which is why I was almost late coming here, and while the UPS guy explained to me that pine cones never stop growing.
And
The
you wanted to
conversation
say,
was
like,
7
I
minutes.
don't
I acted fascinated.
You're like, it doesn't stop growing either, is this conversation
Yeah.
or my need to want to get out of it.
You couldn't think
I
of an
didn't say
excuse?
that. No, I'm polite. I'm a gentleman.
God, you are a gentleman.
On the outside. On the inside, I'm angry, angry, bitter.
Neurotic. I love it. I'm getting to know you more. I think you're so interesting.
Thanks.
Well, because you were talking about your
Mike
pot.
holding style.
I know, seriously.
They can't see
He's
this
comfortable.
long. That's super comfortable. I'm
He's
gonna do it.
comfortable.
That's how Dr. Drew does
Laziness.
He does?
I know.
Oh, yeah. He just grabs the mic, sits back. He's been doing this for like 30 years.
I hope to meet him someday.
Maybe you will. Maybe you will. So we're going to get straight into analyze this.
We're going to Disneyland next week.
You and Dr.
You and
Drew?
Dr. Drew
Wow.
and Susan? Or just
No,
you and Drew?
Just him and I.
He goes
Wait,
to
no
Disneyland
way.
every week or every day with his wife.
Yes.
Wait, why do
she
you
was
get to
on
go
our
to
show.
Dr. Why do
we
you get
go
to
on.
go to
We
Disneyland
go on
with
like a
Drew?
date, like every 2 weeks, and we just go out and do
Really?
weird. I took him to a party once, like a Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was like, who is whistling?
Who is whistling? Yeah, who's buzzing
Someone
on the
thinks
table?
I'm hot. They're whistling at
Is
me.
it Drew? Is it Drew
that would
calling
be
you?
so awesome.
I know. He's our love. He's like our favorite man, Dr. Drew. We have a
I took
huge
him to a
crush on him.
party where there were probably drugs being done.
No way.
He goes on board.
Does
Let's
he
go do
get
something.
really
And I went,
mad?
I have to go to a party, and he's like, "You mind if I tag along?"
Does he get mad about that? Where
Not
he's
at
like
all.
lecturing
Couldn't
people? He's
give
like,
a
you know what
shit.
could happen to
Did
you
he
in
drink?
5 months?
No.
Really?
I don't drink, but he will have one glass of wine, and then I try to get him hammered after that because I want to. I want to end up driving one of the cars home.
Have you ever seen him drunk?
No.
I
should
can't
get him drunk
imagine
at
I've seen
drunk,
Susan drunk,
seriously.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like she is drunk when she comes in here anyway.
Might be.
She's awesome. No, we loved having her on our show. And actually, we should announce this. We are going to be regulars on Loveline now.
We are.
Once a month.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What
We're
night?
gonna Mondays. First Monday of every month. Is that what it is?
Last
Monday of every.
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah, so we
it's
start
almost
on
the
the 28th of this
28th
month,
of
but this
April.
may
Yeah,
air
so-
afterwards.
Are you
but
nervous?
yeah, no, we've been on it before. They're so nice there.
No, I know, but I mean, are you nervous that you're going to be on? Right, you're going to be regulars.
Maybe a little bit of pressure.
In the like right now, I'm not because I have the bragging rights. But when I get in there, I'll be nervous.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm like, oh yeah,
Like, we can do it. We can totally do
That's
this
rad.
stuff.
That's
All
totally
right, so
rad.
this is the full Analyze This show. So, you guys ready
Yep.
to analyze this? Okay, wonderful. All right,
Shall overanalyze this.
overanalyze this. Damn it, I keep fucking that up. Anyway. Hi, ladies. I had a question regarding men that are unemployed. How do I go?
We have the two best men in the studio right now to answer these
Self-employed is
questions.
different than unemployed.
Yeah, I'm self-employed too, by the way.
Self-employed is worse than unemployed.
How do I get over my ego in thinking most women want a man that is more secure in his life? All I want to do is connect with someone that does not judge me for where I am in my life. My focus is not the best, but I do go out around town. What advice could you give to help? Love your podcast.
She's
Thanks,
unemployed?
Larry. I love Larry. Thanks, Larry.
This is a guy. Okay, right.
Of course, his name is Larry.
Okay. So all I want to do is
unemployed
connect with someone
name.
that does not judge me for where I am in my life. That's the sentence that popped out to me because it shows me that he's judging himself for where he is.
Yes, he is. And my brother is in the situation where my brother is 38. I mentioned him on the previous podcast. He has not had a consistent job essentially his whole life. He's like just kind of a depressed guy. He doesn't know what he wants to do. And he finally went out on a date with a woman who I had mentioned was around his age. And every time he goes out with a girl, he's always hid that. He's never brought it up. He's never mentioned it. But he's embarrassed about his apartment. He's embarrassed about his car. He's embarrassed about everything. And so what he does is he keeps himself at bay. And when he went on this previous date with this woman, he basically said, I just laid it out on the table. I said, I've had a really rough time finding like myself and what I want to do in life. And I don't have a house and I don't have the best car. And they had an amazing time.
Really?
And she was accepting.
And she wanted to see him again?
Yes. And I don't know if perhaps maybe because she's secure in her life, she has a house and,
Did
she
he
already
say
has,
his age in there?
He didn't actually.
I
Should
think
just try dating significantly younger girls.
I don't think that's what my
And-
brother
and then
tried
lie.
to do.
You don't care about that stuff?
No.
Yeah. They're like, I don't care if you don't have a job.
No, because I think younger girls, I mean, it depends on where you live, but where I'm from, which is a small town, at younger ages, these girls get married and
Yeah.
have kids. And so, like, my brother is not that type who has all that stuff ready to go for the younger woman to then kind of jump into the secure life. So I just think the best thing is to say it up front.
Well, this is the thing. So it's the way that you frame the situation, okay? Because it's exactly that sentence that popped out to me. It's about the way that you view it. So if you view it as the biggest downer in the entire world and then you project that to the women that you're dating or possibly keep the information from them, it's going to stop you from connecting on a date. You're not really giving yourself to her. You're not having a proper conversation. And if you do talk about your unemployment and have a very negative attitude, you're going to create an even further distance between the two of you. So it's about your attitude towards being employed. Because if you're unemployed, but you're going back to school or you're contemplating what you want to do for the next phase in your life, you can phrase things so that it has a more positive spin on it.
But it's just dishonest if you're not going to bring it up. I mean, you're
I agree
misleading
with
somebody
you.
into trying to get them into bed when you can't follow through. That's like buying a car that's way beyond your means, and then you get a date with some girl.
Or
who's-
just rent a car for the one night of the date and get some fake business
maybe
cards.
he doesn't think that's a big deal for him. Like, so if he's unemployed, he's like, why the hell do I have to talk about that? I'm having a great time. I have other things going on in my life. Why would I bring it up? But it's your brother has the attitude of I'm ashamed of it and I want to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of shame.
Yeah. In the Carney family. So I would say for this guy, what advice could you give to help? It's really reframing the way that you view your unemployment. So
He
if
may
you're
not be able to do that though.
right. So, but so what would be a way he could reframe his view? and become more positive about being
focus
unemployed.
needs to be on his own self before he's like out there dating.
Yep, he should probably
good.
get a job first, then go on a date.
If he's really locked in that space, then yes, he should focus his energy on.
I mean, also
getting a job.
dating, it costs money too.
Doesn't have to.
Well, what? Like what?
You could do tons of things, especially with the summer
You
coming
can,
up.
but it does kind of eventually come across as a little bit like, not that every girl wants to go out to the most expensive dinner, but you want to know that's available if you want to do it occasionally. So
I
if you're
would save so much money if I didn't go on dates.
right,
I find it to be like the most expensive.
That's
thing that I
cocaine
do.
for me.
right.
So I hope that answers your question.
You don't
Larry.
drink, but you do coke.
But Marni, I saw
You used to
I
drink
heard
and
you.
do coke. Now you do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard you say this before, which was saying it like it's like give an example of actually saying it.
Oh, so there's, yes, I'm unemployed. I know that's horribly embarrassing and like it's awful. I hated my last job. I got fired. It's having this negative spin around the unemployment issue. But if you say, you know what, I'm not working right now, but I am going back to
I don't like right now as an expression. It always says that means shame. When you're like, what do you do? Like, well, right now.
right now.
Well, but people do
that's
make
a shame.
transitions in their lives.
Yeah, but the thing is that I was working my old job. I was really not liking it, and I didn't want to live my life in an unhappy space. So I decided to get out of my old job and go back to school, learn a new skill that I've always wanted to learn, and you can say whatever skill that is. And then after I'm finished with school, then I'm going to go into that field, and I'm really passionate about it. And I love the fact that I'm doing something that I love now rather than something that I detest. So there is. It doesn't always have to be that positive story. I don't know what Larry's story is of why he's unemployed or what he's doing now to proactively gain employment.
Would it change your attitude if you're on a date and some guy told you he didn't have a job?
Would it change my attitude toward him?
Would you lose a little bit of faith in long
It
term?
depends how he phrases it, to be honest. I jump on board with emotion, so I feel what somebody puts out there to me, right? So like.
So you would judge his sincerity?
I would judge.
in that?
I'd be like, you should be
Not
a little
his,
sadder
it's not
about
his
your
sincerity.
situation.
Yeah, I would think
It's his
so, too.
attitude towards it. That's what I would really evaluate.
But do you think you could read in a guy, if I were to tell you, like, I'm unemployed right now, but I'm working on something I'm passionate about, but would you I don't mean necessarily with me, but as a man, would you sense that if I were sincere, that I'm going to...
You'd have to
Yeah.
really sell it. You'd have to really sell it.
Well, but it also depends on how he's been talking the rest of the time that we've been interacting with each other. So if there's this guy and he's telling a story about, like I've been unemployed for 5 months, I'm pounding the pavement every day, and he doesn't sound as sincere and as authentic, and that type of tone has been popping up throughout our conversation.
He
It'll
keeps
set off.
sending the waitress away. He asks
Right,
if the bread
he's like,
basket
"Don't-"
is the bread free?
Yeah, exactly.
Bottle? No, not
Yeah, I hate to
bottle
be
water.
this
Tap,
simplistic.
tap water.
Exactly.
I think you are correct, though. I think he needs to work on himself a little more before he starts dating, because this
think
is
so,
like
too.
buying something that's out of your price range. You know, I mean, give it 6 months, get a job, and then start dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I know humankind is like, I want this and I want it now. I want compassion and I want love and I want affection now, even though I can't provide for myself, let alone somebody else.
So do you think it's a distraction for him if he were to
Of course.
date now?
I almost think it's an arrogance. Like,
Well,
I
yeah.
deserve this.
If you
I
do-
deserve to go out and have a date, and
Yeah.
I can't afford it. Because I know plenty of people that...
And if you do date now, you're not going to be the happiest with yourself, so you probably
No,
won't have the
your
happiest
self-esteem's
relationship.
going to be in the gutter, man. Unemployed.
But even if you're working towards a goal during
Yeah.
that time of
I
unemployment,
think if you're
do you
working
think-
and
do you
you're
think-
proactive, yes, you should be dating. It's not a stamp on your forehead that says
A
like
college
I'm
chick.
horrible.
You should be dating. ... A college chick.
But date someone that doesn't have the expectation of maybe someone who's already a CEO of a company. You know,
No, I will say there are a lot of women who it is really important to. It doesn't matter how you phrase it. They're going to be like, screw that. I want a man who's established. I want a man who has a job, and I want a man who can also take care of me.
Well, there could be an extreme. You could
Be a
either date
partnership.
a woman who has her own empire. Maybe she's a CEO of a company and she doesn't care, and he'll just be the
Sugar
kept
mama?
man. Yeah.
How many of those are there?
I don't know.
Like 7.
And then he should date.
I get the chick from Google. Or Yahoo, I mean.
Orange
Oh,
County.
yeah.
Marissa Meyer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. So either that or like the volleyball team captain at a college in Orange County.
You narrowed that down.
Nothing in the
I
middle.
love that.
Nothing in the middle.
Yeah. Very
Okay,
specific.
so Larry, hopefully we've overanalyzed that for you and you got enough information out of that. So I'll give a little wrap up. Work on yourself, number one. Get proactive about getting employment so that you can feel more positive about things. And then start dating so that you have a real positive story to share with women that you go on dates with. And you have a little bit of pocket change because hopefully you'll have a job really
And
soon.
that's option A.
Option A.
And
The other one is bang
B,
tons of
Yeah.
young girls.
Do you think then you can get one knocked up and then you can't afford that baby either?
I know.
then
See, the downside.
C, option C is the CEO girlfriend.
Is the CEO, exactly. Be a kept man.
Do you think women have more questions, more insecurities regarding dating than men do?
Women have more than men think they do.
Like, I'm hearing these perspectives of men right now. Like, what do women think?
Well,
I don't know. This isn't the Ask Men show. No, I don't know.
I know. I just realized that.
Well, it's
a
funny
second ago.
because over this course of time doing this podcast, I've learned a lot. I know more about men than I know about women. Like, if you ask me something like that, I really have no idea. I don't do any, like, self-reflection.
Is it bumming you out?
Does it bum me out?
Yeah.
I think women are pretty horrible, so I don't mind.
There's
like,
a lot.
knowing
Okay.
men.
So I will tell you. So I'm doing a little bit of work with women now because I'm on a lot of TV shows. So a lot of women come to my website and they write me these emails. And the emails that they send me are flooded with emotion. Okay, so they have a lot of insecurities. I don't know if it's a lot more insecurities, but they're so much more emotionally attached to these insecurities than men are. Men are a lot more logical about the insecurities. They
Yes.
feel them definitely, and they have a lot of them. If not very, they're not very. If anything, they're very similar to the women's insecurities that exist. But
Breasts.
men and women handle them very, very differently. That's typically why I don't work with women a lot, because
How
I
can
haven't
I-
figured out how to work with them.
How can I, as a man, instill confidence in a woman? And I don't mean...
About herself? Or
Yes,
about you?
like long term. Like, how can you let somebody know, no, you do look fine. No, you do look pretty. No, you don't need to keep...
Well, there's two
Like,
answers
how
to
is
that.
there... How can you, as female minds right here, how can I convince you
To be more
that you're
confident?
fine?
Okay, well,
Go back to my childhood.
That's what I was thinking.
Find a time machine. Yeah.
Fight your dad. First take lessons how to
There's two
fight.
things going on. Okay, nobody is going to be able to control my emotions. And this is something that I had to learn over a period of time, because when I first started dating my husband, I did not know that it was my responsibility to soothe myself. I did not know that it was my responsibility to make myself feel better. I thought it was his responsibility because I thought that I was doing that for him. And about not halfway into our relationship, but 5 years into our relationship, I had a couple of panic attacks, and I had a period of time where I was quite unhappy with myself.
And you questioned the marriage
And
too, right?
We weren't married at that point, but I questioned the relationship. I put a lot of pressure on him because I kept saying, fix me, fix me, fix me. I helped you when you were down. Why can't you do the same thing for me? And that was really hard on him, and he was very patient, and he was wonderful during that time. But I ultimately realized that it was my responsibility to handle my own emotions. So I had to go see my
How'd you
own
do it?
coach. I went to go see a life coach. I talked to a therapist, and I worked on myself. I discovered what I wanted. I discovered what my insecurities were. I was discovering what that voice was in the back of my head that kept saying things to me that I couldn't really hear, but that were controlling everything that I did during that period.
Was
of
it hard
time.
to regain like your communication with your husband? After
No, not at all. It was a very quick process for us. I went to probably 2 or 3 sessions with this.
But you know what I mean? Like, some people get so buried in resentment that there's no going back. You can't
No.
go, now I'm going to sit on the couch with you and tell you I love you, and then we're going to go have sex.
No,
like we
because-
love each other, which
because
isn't going to happen.
When
with
I
a lot of
finally made
people.
that decision, I said to him, I said, you know what? I've realized that I can't put this on you anymore. I know that you're trying to be there and help me, but it's not your responsibility. I am going to take ownership of this. Can you please give me 2 months?
I think that's great information, what you just said, for
Yeah.
women. Because
But
I don't
it's-
think a lot of people realize that.
Well,
I
I've
think
had
it's hard to do, and it's hard to realize.
I've had a lot of problems in that arena because moving out to LA and trying to like get established and find yourself, and I've had my boyfriend essentially this entire time, and I've
Did he move with you?
He lived here when I moved here, but
You knew him already. You were dating.
I knew him already. We weren't dating, but he's from where I'm from, and so I knew he was here, but we weren't dating at the time, and then we started dating. But anyway,
So you moved out for him. Got it.
no,
I'm just kidding.
no, I swear to God, I didn't move out because of a Facebook message. I swear. But when I was trying to get established, and I still am, I was very much like putting that on him. Like, I wanted to date someone that could help me, and I wanted to date someone that would make it easier and open doors for me. And he's nothing like that. Like, he doesn't work in the industry. He's, very much removed. He doesn't give a shit about any showbiz, anything. And so I blamed him a little bit for not getting me anywhere, which was kind of a weird thing because he did go to school for film. So under the pretension of his Facebook profile. It's like, this guy can get me somewhere.
It's a hookup for me, exactly.
Right.
Does he physically open doors for you at least?
Yes, he does. He's
That's
a
nice.
super nice guy. And so basically, once I started doing things for myself and started to feel proud of some accomplishments,
Then he became angry and jealous.
he became like, who do you think you are? You're not that great. But we now have more of a balanced relationship. So I think it's doing things like this guy, even before the question before about not having the job, I didn't feel good about myself because I had nothing to offer. And I was expecting him to make me into something to offer.
Yeah.
And so once I became something more to myself, then he became a lot less of the enemy, my boyfriend.
And I had something
He's still a
similar.
little bit of the enemy, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
No, but I had something similar to Kristen in the very beginning, where I kind of wanted like this partner that would be able to help me do things, make introductions, help be my business partner. And I remember one day my husband said, this is in the very beginning of our relationship, he said, if you want a business partner, please go somewhere else and find it. I can be a partner to you for life. And that really struck a chord with me. I'm like, oh my God, like I've been requesting the wrong things. I've been wanting the wrong things from you. You are a wonderful partner.
Just how come? Because does he think that would damage the relationship if you guys were?
If we, oh no, he's just saying like I'm not going to be able to tell you what to do with your business.
Okay.
But if you
thought he
want,
might have some-
oh no, he's like, not saying he doesn't want to
Like
do my business.
concept-
We actually have a corporation together,
Yeah,
so
so
he
I was
totally
gonna
is
say.
my business partner. But
I don't work with
but
you.
we don't do working
I don't
things
trust women.
together. Exactly. It's like screw it. But the other half of the question, because I think that's a very good question that you asked. The other answer to the question is how can you help do that? And that really is number one, leading by example and openly communicating with your girlfriend or significant other, so you can help provide her with the answers she needs
But
for
from
herself.
two female minds here.
Well, it's about
will
one.
it eventually
I'd say
work?
there's
Will you? But at some point,
It's up
in
to
time,
her if it eventually works, because
Yeah.
it's that's what a partnership is.
Well,
it can't
I'll
just
say-
be you leading her to freedom. She has to want it as well. Exactly what Kristen was saying, and exactly what I was saying.
And in terms of physically being a woman and then physically needing the validation of like, do I look okay? Those kind of things. I'll say that all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling good about myself. And he just constantly says, oh, shut up. Like you're talking like gibberish. He never is like, oh, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And whenever
What is the way to do it? What's the
well,
proper
whenever
way to
he
do it?
said,
way.
like he'll just
Because
say
the discounting it way doesn't seem like that's smart.
The best
to go,
way to
you're
do
being
it?
ridiculous.
The best way to do
that's-
it?
Well, basically what I want to get to on that point is that no matter if he said that, if he didn't say shut up and he just said you're beautiful, oh my God, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever met. First of all, I'd be like, number one, you're bullshitting, so stop sounding like an asshole. And number two, that's somewhere again that you have to get on your own, where you just become a confident person who's happy with themselves.
But
Like,
also-
no guy is
you can
ever going to
tease
tell
the
you that.
fact that she's insecure for that moment. So you can go up to her and like, I can't really show you because we're sitting across the table.
I have an
but-
idea what to do.
But it's like you go up and joke with her and you're like, oh, you don't think you're attractive right now? You're super sexy. You start kissing her neck. You start tickling her. You can start joking around with the fact that she is insecure for a moment and you're basically saying you're being ridiculous. Like, how could you be unattractive? Like, this ass is absolutely amazing. Your breasts are phenomenal. And like if you just tease her in that moment about that insecurity, she can laugh it off as well. That's what I know works for me. Anytime when I get a really like testy moment with
You
my
want your breasts
husband
to be
and he
teased
yes,
in
exactly.
that moment.
No, and he does that with me instead of like feeding into my emotion, because I know that a lot of times we've talked about this a lot. A lot of times when I put a tense emotion out there, or a woman puts a tense emotion out there because of her insecurities, and she tries to throw it onto a man and he takes it on too, then she can pounce on him because he hasn't been strong and has not remained unrattled. And it's easier for her to put the emotion on him rather than feeling it herself. But if a man takes her emotion, says, you can't rattle me, and if anything, I'm going to raise you a flirtatious banter moment, and we're going to turn this into something fun, and I'm going to lead you towards that place, then that's when he wins. Because he's showing that her insecurity and her emotion doesn't faze him in any
Yeah,
way.
but
And
that also sounds it can be a little harsh.
a little harsh
Yeah, if you're gonna
from women or from men.
from men to women. I was thinking about for the listeners' sake.
I think so. I agree with that. I think people are too withholding with compliments in our culture, and just maybe telling.
I guess
somebody
the real
look
question
super
I had
beautiful
was-
might be
But
the
no,
nice way to go.
I want to hear more about.
Well, I was thinking from a
this,
listener's
though.
point of view. Like, just as a recommendation, how can you go up to your significant other and make them feel good without
without trying
her
too
needing
hard.
to ask for it.
seeming like it's prompted? Yeah,
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
by really being
Instead
genuine.
of I look really fat, and you're constantly going, no, you don't.
Well,
look
are
fat,
you
don't
saying
look
with
fat,
her
don't
asking
look
you the
fat."
question, or are you just genuinely
No, kinda
walking up in the middle
surprised.
of the day?
Just how do you
You can just say,
Well,
you look beautiful today.
My boyfriend, though, will do this occasionally where I'm not doing anything. I'm maybe in my pajamas. I'm like not looking for anything. And we are not romantic types. And he'll just be like, you look really pretty today.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, thank you. And it just is so unexpected. It's not like I got ready and I took my time and all that. It's just like the most natural moment where he's genuinely just thinking it and I'm genuinely not expecting it.
Yeah. I have that too, where my husband will say, "Oh, you look beautiful today," and I'll get uncomfortable for a second, maybe make a sarcastic
I used to
comment,
get uncomfortable. Now I just am like cool.
It's
with it.
nice.
Yeah.
It's really when it's genuine and out of the blue.
I think I totally sidetracked myself from what I was actually thinking before. I was just wondering how, if as a woman, can I, as a man, somehow help you get over your insecurities?
Occasionally, I don't think there's a long term.
Yeah, and I think you answered it with your. I took control of it myself.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has to do it on her own.
See, overanalyze this.
I'll say Marni Kristen instead of
what
saying
up, gals?
your.
What up, gals? Love the show and listen all the time. I'm a 29-year-old guy and have had 3 to 4 past relationships that have lasted 2 to 3 years each, always with girls my own age. I met a girl who was 20 and she's super amazing and really mature for her age. The thing is, she lives across the country, Quebec, Canada, and me in British Columbia. She has stayed with me for a full month and I've known her for only 3. We agreed to her moving out here with me, but before I met her, I planned on traveling for 6 months. I'm supposed to leave for my trip in a couple of months, and I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should tell her to forget about me and move on and see what happens when I come back from my trip, or try to wait for each other till I return. My trip is a once-in-a-lifetime trip and want to enjoy it to the fullest without having to worry about anything or anyone, really. I'm worried we might lose touch while I'm away. I can see myself with this girl for a real long time and vice versa, but I'm also worried if I invest time with her and she decides after a few years she wants something different because she's only 20. What do you think? Am I crazy for falling for her? Should I be the smarter one in the situation and say forget about it? Keep doing your show. Keep doing what you're doing. Love the show. Cheers, Chad.
He's like, keep doing your show, women.
That's an interesting one. I will tell you that when I was 17, my boyfriend at that time was going backpacking for 3 months in Australia and then going to summer camp afterwards to be a camp counselor for 2 months. And he broke up with me to go away for that time being. And at that time, I didn't understand it. I was just like, how could you break up with me? You love me. You're coming back in 3 months. Not that big a deal. Okay, looking back on that now, I love that he
had the balls.
did that. I love that he did that because he had the time
6
to
months
go
is
experience.
way too long, first of all.
For
Did
what?
you say 6 months?
He said
That you could be away?
he says he's going in 6 months. Oh, plan on traveling for 6 months.
I mean, I don't know. For long distance things, I feel like 3 weeks or a month. You know, you got to kind of see the person. There's sort of a...
But he's saying, should I just say to her, like, let's end this now. I'm going away for 6 months.
Well, you know the
I want
answer,
to
right?
be free.
She's 20, yes.
Yeah.
Just go on your trip. She's 20.
Yeah. And how old is he?
She's going to change.
He's 29. This is one thing that my father told me a very long time ago, and I'm going to totally screw it up. But he said, if you have a bird and you open its cage and you say, I'm setting you free, and the bird flies away, then, oh, fuck, what is the saying? Damn it.
If, like, you let love go.
It was Sting. It was Sting.
Something
who
like
said-
it's never your. It was, and if it comes back, if it goes away and it
love
flies
something,
away
set it
forever,
free.
it was never yours to keep.
I think this is something about Mary quote.
Yeah,
Damn it! I totally forget.
Your dad
I'm
didn't
giving
come
my.
up with this,
I
by the
know.
way.
He
Damn
may
it!
have
I didn't say
also
he came
said-
up
But
with it.
as with
but he
most
said it
quotes,
to
it's a
me.
bunch of bullshit because what bird's not going to fly away? No matter that bird
But
can
he
adore
said-
you, it's going to split.
Right.
But he said if the bird comes back, then it's yours.
He may also have said, Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light.
And
He
you
did
do.
say that.
You do. She has nothing
He
else to
did
do.
say
She's
that.
Could
got
send
no-
a message in a bottle.
He did say that too.
Art, please. We need some sort of Sting song right now.
Desert, maybe Desert
seriously.
Rose. He also may have
Seriously.
said,
No, but what do you think he should do?
I
He
think
should
he
go
should-
be free.
I think to be totally blunt about it, you can't have a relationship that's going to be long term, that's worth you sacrificing this important life experience for.
Yeah.
With a 20-year-old. Now, I'm a hypocrite. I know. But I'm consistent.
Girlfriend?
If I were in his position, knowing what I know now, not that I'm like much older or knowledgeable, I would definitely break up for that time being, because what he's going to do is they're going to break up down the road anyways, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he's going to say, "Oh shit, I shouldn't
I
have
don't
wasted
agree
that
with
6 months."
I don't agree with he's going to break up with her anyways.
Okay.
Because that's not true.
I'm not trying to be flirtatious. But ladies, no, I'm not. I really don't know how old you guys are.
This is what I'm going to.
Do you want
21.
30.
Okay, really? You're 30 and you're
21.
Okay, 21.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You know as a woman at 20 years old and 30 years old, you were very, very different mentally.
Yes.
Things changed a lot, and it's
Absolutely.
going to change with all of them, regardless of what you think, because I've been there. I thought, oh, she's mature for it. She's this, she's that. You know they're going to change. As long as you know that, when she's 29, she's not going to want anything to do with that guy, probably.
Right.
But
I
she's
agree.
gonna-
What are you talking
No,
about?
I agree.
I know,
this
but
is
you're-
why I never dated
but
in high school,
by
because I
and large-
know there was no long term
Yeah.
to it for me.
You're an exception. I know that.
Yeah.
I sense it. I sense it's true. I sense it. I do. I think it's genuine. But realistically, this guy has this trip that sounds important to him, and he has a potential
Right.
girlfriend who's not even his girlfriend, who's going to move out
Right.
there.
Right, who he's
it's on
only known
split.
for 3
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
That's the thing to really focus
Yeah.
on, Chad, as we overanalyze
I really like
your
my
question.
rental car. Should I put premium fuel in it? Because I really like it, and I might buy it.
Right, exactly. So I would say for Chad, I would say for right now, you
was
know,
a
to say
horrible
I'm
analogy.
going
No,
to
it's good. I got
Say
it.
yeah,
no,
right?
no,
Just
but
go,
I
shut
liked
up,
it
idiot.
because it's like, okay, why are you investing to put money into a rental car? I totally get it.
A lot of
Like
rental
my dad
car
said something about that
talk
too. But I would say for Chad, I would say go have fun on your trip, be free, and see
Like a
how
read
often
for
you
enterprise.
communicate while you're away. Like, see what happens because you have no idea what she's going to explore while you're away, what you're going to explore, and what opportunities may come up.
And you don't
But
want to have resentment down the road if you do
Right.
stay together.
right. And when I was
And she doesn't
When I-
want to have resentment either that she's
Right,
stuck with
right.
him. This isn't Manhattan, by the way. I mean,
right.
that's a made-up story. You know.
Is Manhattan a car rental place? I feel like this is
Yes.
like,
Oh no, I thought you meant the movie Made in
I was.
Manhattan.
No,
Yeah.
not Made. The Woody Allen movie where he falls in love
Oh,
with
I
a
thought you were talking about the one with Jennifer Lopez. I was like, okay, I'm totally on board with your story
Very
right now. But it was interesting because the next year after, my boyfriend, when I was 17, had gone away backpacking, I went away backpacking the next year and said, okay, let's stay together for these 3 months, and ended up breaking up with him while I was away because my one friend who I met out there, she said, are you over here? Because I was in Australia backpacking. She said, or are you over there? If you're over here, be over here in Australia experiencing it. If you are tied to somebody else back home, you are not living where you are. And if you have this amazing experience of traveling for 6 months, oh my God,
Yes.
enjoy it.
Did he
Have
say where he's
every-
going?
He didn't say where he was going, but it sounds amazing.
I mean, if you go somewhere exotic, like definitely break up
Yeah.
with her because there's gonna be hot
Totally.
chicks.
It's not even that. That's being selfish.
it's
but
just about being free and not being like, I have to
Yes.
get back because I have to make a phone
And
call.
by the
to
way,
United
being,
States.
being a
being
foreign
selfish.
dude in a foreign country
It's hot.
It's fucking easy.
Thank you,
to
Art.
just start.
I love
How
it.
awake you are
He's
now.
probably going to Omaha for 6 months. We have no idea where he's going to.
Life is short, for one. Second of all, the whole point of the relationship, in my view, is time together.
Yeah.
So the long distance
Right.
thing is just complete bullshit.
Yeah, and
the whole
there-
point
there's
is,
a-
I'm going to go. Tonight we're going to go to Jerry's Deli. Tomorrow we're going to go to a movie. Then we're going to go for a walk, and we're just going to sit on the couch and talk for an
Right,
hour and a half.
that's dating.
It's not this. Oh, you're in wherever, and I'm out here, and we're going to stay together till you're eventually out here. Then you're going to split again because clearly this is what your job defines.
Unless there's a foundation that's already been built, and then somebody's going to travel for a few weeks or something.
Right,
Right.
right.
They've only
Like,
been
you don't
together for
have
3
that.
months.
She's 20.
Yeah.
They barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she lived with him for 1 month. So
It's a
Chad,
foundation made out of rental car places. So let's just
right.
Okay, by and large, most of my friends are on the road year-round, and those relationships are a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Everyone, they're heartbroken every time they leave. Their families are with them without them.
I will tell you one thing though. My husband and I, we have a lot of time apart because he goes on productions for like 2 months at a time.
And you dig it?
I love it.
But-
I
but-
hated it at first.
But you also know he's coming back at a point.
yes,
and,
I do know he's coming back, and I usually go visit him in between.
And when you guys are 50, you might not like it at all. It might dramatically change. You might just be like, now
Right.
this stops now.
Right,
Well-
that's true.
well,
but
once-
I've really enjoyed it over the past. Like he's been doing this for 7 years now. He was traveling before, but not as often, and for long periods of time. But like, I love that I get back to being me.
Yeah. When he comes back, do you miss your personal space?
Yeah, and I'm like, get the fuck out of my space. I'm like, why are you leaving your underwear here? There's a transition period for sure, but then I'm like, we're very in love with each other after I get pissed off at him for like leaving
I've
shit
gotten that
everywhere.
too from people. Like, I really like it when you come over and stuff, and that you live so close, but
like it
you
when
need to
you
go
leave.
home. And I'm like, that's cool. I want to go home too. I want to go
You're
home
like,
and go to
perfect.
'cause
My
I-
boyfriend's taking classes on Thursday nights, and this is the first time in like 5 years that he's ever had anything to do at night. And I'm like, yay, Thursday! What am I going to do with my like
What do you
endless
do?
time by myself? I like watch movies and like just eat
Kinda
chips.
nice.
Yeah, it's great.
It's very
And
nice.
I don't have to like clean up his shoes.
Wait,
I'm
did we
like-
take a break?
We have actually. I was just saying to Art. I was texting him, do we need to take a break? So I think we do need to take a break, and we'll be right back with more Analyze This in just a moment.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's it's Marni from the Ask Women podcast. Buying a car is a not-so-fun experience for most people, and it doesn't have to be. At TrueCar.com, they'll help you get rid of the fear that you may overpay. You know you'll get a fair price because they show you what others paid for the car you're looking for. TrueCar.com analyzes what people are paying for their cars in their market and shares it with consumers so that they never have to overpay. Over 40,000 cars were sold by TrueCar certified dealers just last month. Users see an average savings of $3,046 off MSRP. TrueCar certified dealers go through a certification process, and you work directly with a TrueCar representative that will honor your savings. TrueCar certified dealers believe that truth and transparency are essentials to a better buying experience. First, go to TrueCar.com and find out what others paid for the same vehicle in your market and around the country. Second, register at TrueCar.com to see upfront pricing information and lock in your savings certificate. And the third step is simple. Just print out your certificate and take it to the TrueCar certified dealer for a better, hassle-free buying experience. TrueCar has the most comprehensive new car pricing information available and a certified network of dealers that offers a hassle-free car buying experience and negotiation-free guaranteed savings. Support the Ask Women podcast and shop at TrueCar.com.
It's Goldberg, and I'm telling you to get off your butt and go subscribe and download Who's Next with Goldberg. Where do you get it? You get it at podcast1.com. That's where. And I'm going to tell you why. I have arguably the best two-sport athlete that has ever walked the planet. Neon Dion, primetime Deion Sanders. Go to podcast1.com. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Your ass is next.
You're listening to the Ask Women podcast, a Podcast One presentation.
All right, welcome back to the Ask Women podcast. We're getting right to all the Analyze This questions with overanalyzing them, of course.
Oh, look, we've gotten 4 down, I think, right?
pathetic.
It is pathetic. But you're getting real answers. And the truth is that most of the questions are basically repeated. Like versions of these questions. So
there's always
it's good
similar
information.
theme. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like, so I'm sorry that we're not getting to your specific questions, but hopefully you're finding some knowledge in the answers that we are providing. I cannot speak today again. It's really annoying. Okay. Hello guys. Thank you guys for your podcast. I always download your latest episode and listen to it during my Friday workout. That being said, I have been waiting for you guys to address the issue of race, but for some reason you did not get the chance to go there. We did.
Race? I didn't even know race was a thing.
Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah, I've never seen.
We live in LA. I grew up in Canada. Oh, so he's talking about being.
Only seen white
we're
people ever as
super
a
racist
life.
against Canadians.
But since 2011, have been living in the U.S. and in the state of Georgia. Oh, interesting. We all know, because they love Canadians down there, we all know that in states like California or New York, interracial dating is part of the culture now. But in the South, it is very different. I have been told that in southern states, that this is the way it works. Whites date whites, blacks date blacks, and Latinos date Latinos. So a 29-year-old Persian guy like me won't fit in. I was wondering if this is true, or do you guys think this is just a theory on paper?
Unfortunately, there's not many Persians to choose from in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't know Canada either
Had Persians.
We have a lot of Persians.
You need to come to Glendale.
Yeah, seriously.
Wasn't there a Persian in the Georgia Satellites?
Oh.
Maybe.
Is that a band?
Let me guess what kind of car you drive, an M3?
He wrote, I have not approached any woman here yet because of the reason I explained. That's interesting. I was hoping you guys could shine a light on this issue and maybe interracial dating in general. Thanks and keep up the good work.
Well, it depends
Allie.
on how Persian he is. Because, I mean, Persian, you could just go straight white woman. Like, I mean, you really could.
Yeah.
Because it's like you could kind of blend with that. Or Latino.
Yeah. Well,
gonna give
the
a
thing
horrible
is, he's
answer on
saying
this
he hasn't approached anybody because of this. Maybe you're introducing a whole new race to the people of Georgia. They have no. Okay, I've told this before. My husband is mixed. He's half black, half white. He's Catholic. He's 6 feet tall. He's not ever what I thought I was
Catholic's
going to
supposed to be
be.
Showing off.
No, but I know. But no, but
Catholic
for me,
and he's 6 feet tall.
when I moved
Unlike
over,
all those other midgets out there.
he's 6'3". But so when I first moved over
Fucking
here,
Pope, man.
He's 6'3".
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
But when I first moved over here, my eyes only saw short Jewish men. That is all that I saw, because in my mind, that's who I was supposed to be with, because that's all I had ever dated before in the past. Or even like just shorter guys, like guys who are balding at the age of 19, who have glasses, whatever. Like that's who.
Did you feel like you pulled a fast one?
I
when you
did
got married?
totally. My family was like, "What what happened?" It's but
They're like,
but
necks were hurting from
when
looking
I
up
met
at
him. They do.
No, I know.
But when I met him, he was not even on my radar. I had to ask my friends if he was good looking because I couldn't actually tell because I wasn't typically attracted to men like that. So for what you're saying is like whites with whites, blacks with blacks, Latinos. I don't know how it actually works down there, but I'm saying that like mess around with some of their expectations of what they could possibly
go
be
after
with.
what you're interested in,
Yeah.
and try to
Break the mold.
Yeah.
I think racism is obviously pretty real, especially in the South. But I also think young people are not nearly as bad as the older generations, and I think young girls especially like to
experiment.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Piss off their fathers.
It's
Come
exciting.
on.
Yeah, it's like a slap in the face of their parents. So go for it.
That's exactly right.
Exactly, Allie.
You're showing dad who's boss when you go out and fuck a black guy in Georgia.
Seriously.
I know. I know.
Like, I'm not trying to be a comedian here. I'm just stating a point.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's a really good idea. I think you approach who you want to approach, see their reaction. The thing is, I actually heard this quote today on for an ad on the new show. No, I wish it was. But Fargo, the new Fargo, it's going to be on TV soon. But they were playing a sound bite from it, and he said the biggest mistake you ever made in life was thinking that like rules actually existed or something like that.
I love that.
And I thought that was so true, and especially for me because I've always walked these lines of these norms and being afraid and I don't want to step on any toes. But once you realize that those are all man-made, they don't actually exist, go for it and you never know what will happen.
Oh, this was actually to analyze this question rather than overanalyze.
It's all life really is a bunch of bullshit. And it's all a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And it's just a
make
big
your own
fucking
freaking rules.
joke.
Yeah, so do what you want to do. And
as I mail my IRS checks in a total panic attack.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
Hi, ladies and guests. Just a quick question. Hope you can help. I met this girl online recently, and we have been talking for about a week now via text. We got along really well, and I have arranged the first date in a couple of weeks' time.
Couple of weeks?
I feel like we've read this one.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we have as well, because I'm not going to this.
Are you guys wearing the same color nail polish?
It's close. She was trying
very close. I was trying
get
to copy
my color,
her.
But
okay. Well, anyway, for this one
Couldn't just
here
borrow it?
that was asked as a reminder, because we have answered this before, stop arranging dates with online people for weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Like, make it happen within the next week, or it's not going to happen at all.
she could be dead by then.
The thing about meeting people online or only texting, though, is there's a culture of like, let's play it by ear, or maybe, or I'll get back to you, or let me let you know in a couple days.
It's a flaky culture of non-commitment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
So you're saying like the longer period of time, the more
it also
flakiness
depends
that's
how
gonna
old they
happen.
are. Like I thought that was interesting earlier. The 29-year-old guy whose girlfriend was 20 was something I was kind of interested in going into because I think
dating younger women
or older. When you get to a certain age where you can go in either direction, the expectation level is totally different. You know,
Yeah.
like an older woman, they expect the guy to be like, "I'm going to pick you up at 7:00 on this night," and there's a reservation. The 21-year-old is like, "Well, I'll let you know. I'm with some friends. We're going to be at this place. Maybe stop by. We'll see how it goes." You know,
Yeah.
it's very, especially my age now because I do.
How old are you?
30. And some, so like 34-year-old girls.
You go either way.
Yeah.
34-year-old girls
Great
are
age.
like they want to like get married and have a kid, and
But that's
they judge me
biological,
for having dishes in my sink.
Yeah, that's biological.
21-year-old girls.
Like,
sit
wow,
there
you have dishes?
Yeah, giggle,
Yeah, you
giggle
own
like
dishes?
a cartoon, and they're like, "Wow, you have dish? You have a sink?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you have your own sink. They're so impressed.
Can I pee in
You
it?
must feel like such a stud. Probably.
How many dishes do you have?
I just thought that was like, I was like, oh yeah, I found my girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love of my life. No, I want to hear
Love at
more
first
about
pee.
this.
Well, that's pretty much all there is to it. I just have to tailor my approach.
Literally, because
Yeah.
your name is Taylor.
Yeah.
So how do you tailor your approach?
I've
I'm gonna kill myself.
That was clever, but not literally at all.
No, I know.
I don't know. There can be, missteps sometimes where I'm like not on the right wavelength for that woman's age. I was like, just when I had been getting really to my wit's end with the flakiness, I kind of inadvertently did that to an older woman, and she kind of called me out on it. And I was like, well, you know why that is? I know why that is. It's because that's what's been happening to me with all these younger chicks.
Yeah.
So you gotta have to just deal with the person that is in front of you.
Well, when you were flaking on this older woman, what was
I wasn't flaking on her. It wasn't like, it was sort of like, we were texting instead of talking on the phone, and it was, we'll get together. When are you free? One of these nights. What time works for you? Yeah, I wasn't just like, hey, why don't you tell me, how about Wednesday, 7
It sets a
o'clock?
tone.
I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
Well, it sets a horrible Hollywood tone, which is the I'm waiting for the bigger, better deal to come along. Like when you're,
But is that what you were trying to get across?
Not necessarily. I just was probably trying to not seem too overeager and give her a little bit of flexibility and space to give me options of when she might want to hang out. She's like, options? You tell me, buddy.
how'd it work out?
Interesting.
We went out a couple times.
No chemistry.
We slept together.
No, there maybe.
So you know what you didn't do that's just the dating professional said you should supposed to French kiss her after the first date.
We did.
Get some vibes. I'm sorry, I just found that so
Exchange
weird on a
hormones.
first date to even.
Exchange hormones.
Oh, you don't
Okay,
kiss women
realistically,
on first
we go. First of all, we're nervous. We go out on a date, and everything's fine. And I'm dropping you off at home, and I lean down and kiss you on the neck. Aren't you going to be like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?"
Is that where you French kiss on the neck?
No, she said you can do that
No,
one
she
either.
said
You
to
can give her a
go
little
for the
wet
neck.
peck on the neck.
You could. I don't think it's so creepy.
Okay, you could if
But the better-
everything was going
Honestly-
along swimmingly. But
honestly-
if you don't like me and I went down to kiss you
yes.
on the neck, you'd be like, "What a fucking
Well, at
creep."
least it makes the head turn easier because you're already so far away.
Yeah, you're right.
Also, if you have the same name as a vampire show guy, maybe
right.
they're expecting the
Right.
neck.
But I will say this: I
Exactly.
never ever admit when something is like sexually interesting to me. I'm way too
Yeah.
awkward with it. But I'm telling you, that move is actually a very good move because she could
Ooh.
just say it, and I'm like, ooh. Like I get, like I
gets
turn into
excited.
I sound like Mrs. Doubtfire, but it's true. Like that is a good move if
But
you
don't
have the right
think-
chemistry.
Don't you sense you have sexual chemistry with somebody long before a French kiss?
Yes, yeah.
No, because some people get very confused with connection versus chemistry.
No, I would agree with Mike on that. Like I would know.
I
kinda just
know when
I
I'm
just
feeling
go
it,
for
but
it
for
anyway.
but for a lot of guys, they cannot actually sense it when a woman is saying, "Okay, kiss me," versus
Oh,
okay,
I'm
let's
that
go
guy
shoe
too.
shopping.
I'm that guy, but I can sense when I have chemistry with somebody. Like I can tell if
But it's a
we
sex-
had sex, it would be good. It wouldn't just be like fucking. I could tell if you're somebody I want to kiss
Right.
and actually like make love to versus just
Really?
have an orgasm. Oh, absolutely.
Well, because
Absolutely.
you can tell
I
when you
gotta
connect in
check
that
it
way.
out.
Yeah.
I know it's really funny because there's all these words: connection, chemistry.
Oh, I've had girls in my bed hitting on me in my bed, and I laid there frozen, terrified.
Without taking
oh no,
action.
I have many regrets, many times, many times.
You're hilarious.
Mary Luca Mitros, the hottest chick in school when I was in the 9th grade or 10th grade, was my sister's best friend, came over and spent the night, and they got drunk in my sister's room. And then Mary said, "I'm going to go sneak into bed with your brother," and came in and laid in my bed with me, and I laid there like I was asleep till she left.
That's
Really?
literally something.
And did not try and do
fucking-
anything.
30 years ago. I still
I
think
thought you were
about
saying
that
I was 30.
all the time, and it breaks my heart.
Hopefully, we'll have another chance at her.
No, it's too late.
I just go for it anyway, and then if I find out I don't have chemistry with them, then in the morning I pretend to be asleep until they leave.
That's
And then
actually
you trust they're not going to shoplift? It's not shoplifting,
And
technically.
then as soon as they leave and I pop up out of bed, but then they forgot something and came back and they see that I'm up, that happens.
Well, I'm going to tell one story. It's actually a friend of mine's story. She was out with this guy, and they weren't having a very good date. And she thought that he could tell that as well. They were talking, they were connecting a little bit, but she wasn't really enjoying herself. And he kept drinking throughout the entire night. So I think that he was sort of blinded by the fact that they actually weren't having a good time. And they went back to her place. He was going to drop her off, and he kind of like just pushed his way into her home. And this is going back to women being polite. Like, I'm not saying he like tried to rape her or he was super aggressive, but he just like sort of walked into her house thinking, oh, she's probably inviting me in. We had a really good time. I'm drunk. She wasn't really drinking that much. She drove me home. Obviously, she wants me to come inside. And he sort of lunged at her, did the French kiss move that Patty Sanger was talking about a couple of weeks ago. And she just said, she's like, I did the only thing I thought to do. She's like, I kissed him back because I didn't want to insult him. I made out with him for about 5 minutes, and then I said I had to wake up early in the next morning and pushed him out of my house, and then never called him again. So, like,
Isn't that
girls
crazy
can
that
even
we all
kiss.
do that?
Yeah.
I know, but isn't that nuts? Like,
Yeah.
we would kiss somebody we're repulsed by.
Well, I've been to the
not-
point where I'm like, I probably should have been murdered several times
Yeah.
just because I was being way too polite. Like, I probably was in the presence of a murderer. And I was like, well, I don't want to offend the murderer. You know, he's already
Okay,
got it
come
hard
in.
enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything in your being is telling you, don't let this person inside of your your domain, into your private area.
Yeah, but it would be
And
rude.
you're like, come on in.
If you didn't. Exactly. Okay, one more question, and then we're going to finish. I feel like damn it, why do I not erase these ones? Hey, what's up, Ask Women Podcast? Yesterday around 10 p.m., a girl wrote, I'm horny, to me. I only saw that message.
She meant to say I'm corny. Autocorrect.
I only saw that message this morning. What's the best thing to reply in the situation, and what's the best to say in situation when you see the text right when she sends it to you? Just so you know, I replied, and this is in like quotes, an inside joke followed by, yeah, same here, and even more since I've read that, smiley face. Thank you very much.
She
Pierre
lost the horny at the
Alexandra.
smiley face.
Yeah.
You're going to want to go with a dick pic.
Of someone else's.
Well, yeah, sure. Maybe have a few archived ones on the phone.
Just send a huge black penis over to her.
What do you, he's saying, what do you respond to that?
Yeah, he's like, so what would
But
you...
he did.
so
He
didn't see
responded fine, right?
Yeah. So he said, what would you respond in the morning? Because he didn't see it till the morning. Or what would you respond
Don't
that
act
night?
desperate. I know that. Don't act like, please do it again tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Jesus. I'll be waiting.
Yeah, are you still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that happen. I had some
Are you
twins that
still?
used to spend the night with me like once or twice a year, and they would come out here and they were sweethearts.
Twins?
And I never made a move. I was a gentleman every fucking time. And the last time they spent the night, I think they killed themselves.
Oh.
I was just
Both
going to
of
mention their. I have no idea if they did or not. But
twin
one of-
suicide.
Here's the
It's
thing.
amazing.
The last time they spent the night with me, one of them said, "We really. Oh, how come you never try hitting on us?" And I was like, I didn't know. In my head, I'm like, I didn't know that was an option.
didn't know I
Team. That's
could.
your style.
It was almost, I wanted to drop to my knees and go, can we please do
I'm
it
sorry.
now? Can we please do it now? Please, God. This was in 94, 95. And then I got a call from them like 5 years later, and she said, we just want to let you know you're
We're
a
killing
really nice
ourselves.
guy. We're probably not going to see you again. And I went, why not? She goes, we don't want to talk about it, but I just want to say you always treated us with respect,
God.
and you were always nice. And she goes, just want to tell you that you were the nicest person. And I was like,
both killed
just because I'm a pussy, I'm nice, but I was going to always be nice regardless.
So that's the lesson. If you don't go forward with hitting on someone when they kill themselves, you will be the nice person that actually made the woruld better.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could have just given them a night of pleasure that would have helped them to not kill themselves.
I'm so
Right,
discombobulated.
exactly.
I forgot how that tied into the story. There was a
I
point.
know.
It tied
So
in
did
somehow.
I. I actually
You just
erased
wanted
the
to talk
question
about it.
already,
Also,
but we got to wrap up.
No, it tied in somehow because there was.
Responding to the text like, oh, too late, being too late.
Yeah, too
doing
late
it.
is too late.
Yeah.
And you can't go, I'm horny now, come on,
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Don't beg
Not
for
if
it
they're
afterwards.
dead, you can't.
No,
Say-
good
you could
God.
say something
and
like,
that is
"If
a
you-
wonderful way to
if
end
you
our
had
show
a threesome
today.
with them, they would have been committing incest.
Yes. Yeah,
You could say that
that's
was
what
a-
they thought was the problem.
That was a fun message to
That's-
wake
that
up
is
to.
a problem.
Something like that.
I
Exactly.
honestly
See,
didn't
I
think
like
it
what
through.
Kristen just said. That was a fun message to wake up to. Smiley
Yeah,
face.
that's a good
Made
message.
my now I'm having a
cute.
good day.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Have a
Now
huge
now I
heart
have
on,
a
walking
word
around
to
all
use.
day.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, great way to end, analyze this,
I wouldn't have
talking
told
about
that story
suicide
about
and
the
death of
kids.
twins. But if anybody has any questions, and hopefully, I'm glad we got to knock out a whole bunch of them today, send your questions into ask@askwomenpodcast.com. And guests for the day, please tell people how to get in touch with you and find out more about you. So, Mike, you go first.
My name is Mike.
Serrano.
Don't get in touch with me.
Twitter, I guess, at Mike Carano, MikeCarano.
Oh, Carano. Serrano, I said. Sorry.
That's all right. Maybe it is Serrano for all I know. I'm really dumb. I could have been mistakenly pronouncing it. Or MikeCarano.com has links to everything. Thank you.
Taylor?
My Twitter
Watch the
is,
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. My Twitter is I am Taylor Locke. And I have a Facebook page. It's Taylor Locke Music.
LOCHE.
LOCKE.
And I'm going to tell people how to get in touch with us because we really never do that. So
Right.
if you want to follow us on Twitter, follow us at Ask Women Podcast. You can follow me at Kristen Carney, and you can follow Marni at Winggirl Method. And make sure to download new episodes every Thursday.
Yeah.
Or subscribe, and so you will get them instantly to your inbox once we are
play
out.
Desert Rose.
Yes, perfect. And we will see you guys next week.
Thank you, gals.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Ask Women podcast. Go to podcastone.com next week for a brand new show.